What's happening, boys? Well, good.
Aye,
Good mate.
no bad.
Oh, actually, sorry. Happening, bitches. What's happening, bitches? Tam, you wee bitch. What you been up to? My bitches. What you been saying to Tam? Shake your tits. Come on, bitches. Let's get it going. What's been happening, Tam? You wee bitch. What you been saying to it?
I'll see you later, mate.
It's
I'm
all
okay,
right, mate.
thanks.
You're allowed to call people bitches now. It's the
I know,
Heart
it's fine,
Midlothian
it's fine.
board. That's what we do now. They're sitting on the board, aren't they? Talking about it. So don't be a wee bitch. Let's hear what you've got to say, bitch.
Me and Kev have had a lovely couple of weeks of being positive and nice and happy, and used to are back to ruin the day.
Whoa, hold on. All I've done is say hiya. I haven't even said anything yet.
It's not even had the chance.
You got that cloud over your head, Ando. It's just constantly there. Mate. It's aye, I'm all right though, mate.
Yeah, good.
Welcome back.
Ando, what's been happening?
Aye, a lot. I think it's been a while since I've been on here. But aye, back after the festive break, ready to go. Even though it's nearly fucking February now, but aye, still raging at hearts. But
and you still wish me a happy new year when I joined the club.
That's not what I said. I say because I've not spoken to you in ages other than on message, and I said, "Happy New Year." Can I still say that? No, I can't. Right. That's all it was said. So I'm going to revoke it. I'm not. I hope you have a shit New Year, Tam.
Yeah, there'll be loads of things that you're not supposed to say, like being a board member of a professional football club that has aspirations to be something bigger than just a bowling club, like posting pictures of Betty White shaking her tits and calling people bitches. But then maybe I'm just asking for too much of a professional organisation. Maybe that's just too much to ask her. We'll sidestep
Not on
it.
your header, innit?
We'll sidestep it because we don't want to upset the bowling club mentality, and we absolutely don't want to trigger a grown man hiding behind a llama on Twitter or on a kickback that's had loads to say whilst pretending to be a llama. So we'll avoid.
Get the reference.
We'll avoid that for the time being. Anyway,
I'm glad you found my burner account though. It's fine.
There's another one though, isn't there? There's a couple of them doing the runes, and all of them equally roasting.
Yes. Right. Well, all things Heart of Midlothian. It's been a while since we've been back. Talk about the Scottish Cup, our progression in that competition. Next round, St Mirren away. We have Kilmarnock coming to Tynecastle Saturday for what I think someone posted the stats on Twitter or whatever you're calling it these days. That the last 25 games at Tynecastle or something, like Kilmarnock won 14 of them or something. Outrageous, which is absolutely bananas. So we'll talk about that, and then we'll obviously talk about a bit of an upturn in terms of form. 5 unbeaten. We don't seem to be able to move any league positions. Hopefully that changes at the weekend if we get a Hearts win and results go our way, because I don't want to play Livingston in the playoff. I don't want to. I'm just putting that out there. I didn't want to be on BBC Alba. I cannot be arsed with another season of BBC Alba, so we've got to get that sorted. And then we're in the transfer window, so we'll talk about sign-ins, rumours, outgoings, incomings, etc. There you go, boys. There's the first etc. 2025 for you. You can have that one for free for anybody that's playing the This Is My Story podcast board game. There you go. You can have your first shot of the year. Sound good?
It does. It does. See, your reference about BBC Alba is making me want to admit something, but I don't know. I'm going to get assassinated for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Right. So the missus decided that our New Year's resolution was going to be, because she has to work offshore quite a bit, she's learning the language of the place she has to travel to for work. A very honourable thing to do, which is all well and good. And in the interest of not wanting to be bested by the good lady, I thought, no, fuck it, I'm doing it as well. So I'm learning a language on Duolingo, so it's for free.
Right.
But I couldn't be asked with French, German, Italian, or anything like that, because everybody does that. I thought I'll try something different. So and I can show you on this on the smartphone. I'm 16 days into learning Scottish Gaelic. So when we are on Bailey,
cool. So you'll be able to read our ambulances.
Exactly. When
you'll be able to read the ambulance backwards in the mirror
and vote for the SNP.
When we get relegated, I can listen to the commentary on BBC Alba and understand it all. So I'll be fine.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I enjoy the Ando, Tam, little bitch. I like when BBC Alba does that. That's
we're opening up a new market. If I can speak in Gaelic, there you go. Bosh.
Exactly. Oh, there you go. The Dalrai Lama or whatever will be buzzing at that news. He'll be absolutely delighted. He'll be delighted. He's having his nightmares about the right-wing neo-Nazis that are storming Tynecastle every other Saturday or whatever. He'll be buzzing to hear that we're defending it now, learning Gaelic.
There you go.
Right, Tam, what we talk about first, incomings or we talk about outgoings? Obviously, the June Kev cover, but Kai Rowles has went to America.
Yeah, I don't think it was confirmed, but we've discussed it anyway. And we discussed Mr. Boyce leaving as well.
Yeah, what should have been your early takes on the sort of the Jamestown era, if that's what we're calling it?
Quite happy with it so far, to be honest. I don't know if you look at how Jamestown work, they do tend to sign players like a McCart type, where they know the league as well. When you look at Brighton, if they've got Welbeck, Milner, those type of players, a McCart will fit in well. And then alongside that, the new striker did look good against your electricians and plumbers on Friday night. And centre half looking like he could be a decent signing as well.
Aye. And I think part of the whole Jamestown Moneyball world that we're going to live in for the next wee while is all about player trading, incremental wins, small losses, sort of small gains until you can start to trade in a bracket above where you're at. So it seems pretty positive so far, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think you've hit the nail on the head. I don't think we're going to somehow unearth 10 rough diamonds that are going to get us 10 million quid each. It's just not going to work like that. But as you so eloquently put it, it's going to be incremental gains, or even maybe double the money. Get them in for 500k, maybe sell them for $1 million or something like that. That's if they work out, and we can utilise them along the way. So, it obviously is early days, and we've only seen a couple of players play relatively low minutes in pretty shit games against meagre opposition. So, it is going to be interesting to see when we get out of the winter, get into the fairer weather. And I don't know, see where they go.
Yeah, I think that we're going to see a lot of that. What I quite like, to be fair, is, and we've moaned about this before for a long time, is the sentimentality at the club and the Jamestown stuff, or if it's Neil Critchley, whoever is driving it, with the whole basically everybody can leave mentality as long as the price is right or wherever is. I quite like. I think we've people probably before the transfer window opened would have been a bit hesitant to get rid of Kai Rowles, given cover and his potential to be, because he was a good player on his day, and he had potential to go on to be a very good player. But I like the fact that we're like, well, you're gone. Do you know what I mean? Like, Liam Boyce, you want to leave? Cool, go. They're talked openly about Cammy Devlin and his release clause, and now whoever's driving that, I don't know, but obviously the club have reacted angrily to the release clause. But my understanding from people inside the club, other people in the media that are connected, there is a release clause. That's why it's mentioned. And I think today in the press they're saying that Grant, Oda and Mackay are getting interest and are kind of free to go if we can make the numbers work. So I kind of like that. I like that. We've been too long relying on players that have not let us down but have failed to really go past their potential or reach their potential. I look at like James Penrice is obviously probably the player of the season so far, or signing the season alongside Spittle, and you can see that if he continues on that form, you will probably fending off suitors in the summer if he keeps up those type of form season. That's kind of what it's all about. So I've been impressed so far. Obviously, it's hard to tell. Saturday will be a litmus test almost of how these guys are doing. McCart looked pretty solid against Aberdeen. And then obviously your big man up front, he gets his goals, which is all you ask a striker to do. I've said before, I couldn't care less if he runs about, links play, doesn't. If he scores goals that matters and digs out of holes and wins his points, wins his games, he can stand and Zifu it for all I care. We need goals and we need points. I don't care how we get them right now. So hard to judge on Friday. Horrible cowpat pitch, playing part-timers in horrible conditions, and he took his 2 goals well. And what I quite liked about it is he absolute clotheslined Grant out the way to be like, yeah, I'm scoring. Aye.
That was good.
Which I quite liked. So the boy signed yesterday, Tuesday.
Yep.
Which one? Hard to keep up. Steinbender.
Steinbender.
I think so.
Looks pretty good. Another centre half. I've said before, I want a Hearts team full of monsters. That's what I want. I want Hearts teams that will ragdoll people about, bash them about. McCart, Steinbender at the back. I'm all for it, if I'm being honest with you. I'm all for it. We're in a league where first touch, second touch, a tackle, headers, you take the man, the ball, everything, and wipe them out. So I'm quite happy with that. It'll be interesting to see how he fits in. We're also looking at the guy from, is it Bran? Is that the guy that St Mirren in the summer? But I watched the games versus St Mirren in the summer. I know everybody now is claiming that they did, but I watch any football that's on the telly and watched St Mirren when they were on. That team they played were very neat and tidy. Obviously St Mirren battered them, but I can't remember saying that he stuck out or whatever. But when you look at his stats and you look at what we want, pretty excited to see if we can get that guy in. What's his name, Tam? You said it
earlier. Vernamo, I think it was. No, that's who we signed Steinbender from. So messed that one up. Sander something. Cartoon. There you go. Sander Cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
The stats look decent.
Yep.
He's the type of player that we need, to be honest with you. That we've spoken about before. We play with 2 sitting sixes almost, with Benny and Boateng or Devlin in there, and all of them are really, really good at all of the same things, and then lacking in all of the same areas. So they're all absolutely brilliant. Winning the ball back, being agitators, being annoying, getting in people's faces, but ask them to go forward, create, carry the ball up the park. They're limited. Cammy Devlin has obviously moved into that role and has played well in games, but again, struggling to score goals, create goals. And if you look all around us at teams that are in our league, they all have goal scoring midfielders, and it's an attribute that we've not had for a long time. With the joke last season was, if Shanklin doesn't score, Hearts don't score, and we've struggled this season, and we're in the position that we're in because that is so very, very true.
Own goals has been class for us as well.
Own goals has been brilliant. He's been the player of the season. If Jamestown can get him tied down, then we're absolutely rocking. I seen he's just scored for Celtic tonight as well. So we're
mad.
He's staying up. He's scoring the Champions League. He's scoring in Europe. He's scoring every week. Do you know what I mean? So be decent. Who else? Ando, have you see anybody else leaving, or areas of the park that you would want to see us strengthen?
I've got and I'm quite happy to help Hearts with this. I can make my car available, and I can shuttle people to the airport or the train station as much as needed. I'd like to see the back of Barry Mackay. I think that is a wage that we could do with recovering, because it is. Having Barry Mackay in your squad is essentially like going to the bank, opening the window, and just shoveling money out onto the street. So get him out of Dodge. I'd like to see the back of him. I don't know. In terms of incomings, I can't go over and above what the club shopping list already is. I think we've got enough there, but then I suppose you have to give them all time And if we have too many, we're in danger of, I suppose, doing the old Levine thing, which is that we'll just get a full new squad every other season, and we know that just doesn't work. But I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'd like to see the positive signs from the players we've got before we go trying to buy too many too soon. If that makes sense.
I think I would quite like us to look at the right back area, if I'm being honest. I think Forrester
That's fair,
has done okay. Yeah, a young lad. I think he'll get time. Oyehoke, I actually think is better at centre half than he is at right back. So that I'd maybe like to look there if we can get.
Well, it's good to see
like,
Taylor come back in.
I suppose, yeah, actually, I forgot that he came back on Friday night, and then also I think he played in the bounce game yesterday. It looked like we played Falkirk yesterday at the Orium. I think we beat them 1-0. Barry Mackay scored.
Did they?
Agree with Ando.
But 5 years.
I agree with Ando though. I'm with you, mate. It's like for Critchley and all the things that you could potentially moan about with him. I like the fact that he sussed that out almost immediately when he got here. That Barry Mackay just wasn't going to be the answer. Gave him some opportunities, and then has been like, no, you're free to go. So there will be quite. I would imagine between now and the end of the transfer window, there will be more outgoings. I would imagine. One of the big ones actually that we managed to stop was it Xander Clark signed an extension.
That was a surprise.
Out of the blue for that, but I'm pretty buzzing with that.
Succession planning, isn't it? Because it remains to be seen what Gordon's going to do beyond the end of the season. But it's quite a divisive topic, isn't it? It's like the people that want him to stay because he's a legend versus the people that are quite happy to see him hang up the gloves and go. I don't know. You could talk all night on potentially before, what happens then.
Aye, and to be honest with you, right now, I'm not that bothered about it because he's there on merit. I've said that before. I don't care who plays as long as they're playing because they're the best that we have in that position and they're performing in that position. He's got, 2 or 3 clean sheets now on the bounce. Obviously, he's conceded an absolute worldie on Friday. There's nothing you can do about that. So, in that sense, he's deserving of his place. So, obviously, Xander Clark must have had some form of reassurance that he's going to feature. It's a bit strange that Gordon got all of the Scottish Cup last season, and yet Xander Clark basically has not played any of the European games, none of the Cup games. It's all Craig Gordon. So either he's getting one last all-in season where he's the number one at Hearts and can leave on his own terms or whatever it may be. I don't know, but that was a good thing. The person, in the nicest way possible, we've discussed our feelings on what a legend Craig Gordon is, and I will argue anybody if they ever want to that I think he's the greatest player that we've ever produced. He's the only one that we could ever say that for me was genuinely world class in the bracket of world class. He would have got a game for any big team in the world in his prime, but we needed Xander Clark to stay. There's a future in Xander Clark, so that was pretty decent, pretty good news as well. We've got looking at some. He's from Kazakhstan, isn't he? Some winger from there. I think we're still in discussions with Danny Armstrong, although that looks like that's probably going to be more of a pre-contract if we're successful in there anyway. I think Danny Armstrong will hold out to see if he can get options. See his options and stuff, which you can't blame him for, to be honest with you. And then you look at if the options aren't good enough, potentially, you then extend and sign your contract extension.
I think that's the one thing we're properly missing. Somebody playing the wide right that's good enough, to be honest, for me at the moment. Vargas isn't at it. Musa, who knows what he is. He's a bit raw, put that way. And we've already discussed Oda, Mackay, and Forrest seems to be pretty much in the same way as them.
Oda's a weird one. I get it. I understand. He's never set the place on fire or whatever, but he does score goals, and I don't know if I'd rather try and, I suppose Vargas is the punt that we're hoping to try and get him to click and hopefully one day sell for some money or whatever. But I actually think that Oda, if we're going to give Forrest shots and we're going to give Vargas shots out playing there, and we bring Wilson on and play him out there and try with Drema and Musa, like, why not give Oda a shot and see what we can do? Because like you said, I think left hand side is sewn up. When we're very, very good, it just flags and highlights just how not very, very good we are on the other side of the park, because Penrice and Spittle are brilliant down that side. I suppose Danda did okay on Friday night, although you're still looking, me anyway, I'm still looking for a bit more. I think he scored a brilliant goal, credit to him, well done, but in terms of influencing the game and being involved in the game, it's hard to judge, right? It genuinely is hard to. That pitch was horrendous. Even when they were doing the commentary, that Darren Dodds and Craig Levine. That Darren Dodds sounded like he'd spent the night in Dahmer's house. Sounded like he'd had a hole drilled in his head, man. He didn't know what he was talking about, didn't he? He was just, Brechin are a good team and they'll be happy that they play football. What? What are you talking about, man? But you could see in the background that the place was howling. You could see it, so you can't really judge them on that park. But
although you've seen Brechin play some tidy football in the first.
Well, we will talk about the Brechin game, because there were aspects of how we started the game that I get the pitch, I get the conditions and stuff, but we took too long to get started. And I was, we're in a group chat. I was livid at how we started the game, but listening to the manager after the game, fine, made sense. Acknowledged that it wasn't good enough. They weren't at it. They just never ever clicked. And then obviously the game plan always when you play these guys is that at one point they're going to blow out their arse. Do you know what I mean? They're going to collapse, and I think you've seen that. The goal actually, I think, helped get their tanks to empty quicker, because they all got mega excited and started running about daft, thinking, oh my god, we could get more goals, and burnt themselves out, and Hearts just grew into the game for it. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. Anything else transfer related or transfer windy stuff that we want to talk about?
Oh, good. I think the other one is Tate's going out to Livy, I think.
Potentially.
I think it's good. It would be good to see him get some game time, because I don't think he's going to get it with us consistently this year. So if there's the option to get him playing somewhere else, I think that's a good idea.
Is that being confirmed that he's going out alone?
Or just Joe Sked and Barry Anderson pretty much were saying he's expected to go to Livy this week.
Okay, well, there you go, Tom.
I know.
You'll be buzzing with that. You'll be buzzing with that. That's class.
Be excited for the playoff, like.
Yeah, we've got a whole batch of these young guys that are kicking about that are playing that need to start getting games and showing what they can do. I think Lewis Nielsen I'd be surprised if he doesn't go back out on loan at some point, given the people that we've brought in.
He's not came on for us yet, has he?
No,
because if he did, he wouldn't be able to play for anyone else.
Aye, but again, it's your Finlay Pollock, although he's got time on his side because he's still pretty young. But these guys, Adam Denham's, did he come back, or does he just not play against us?
He's back, but he's injured. He's
injured.
That's why he's back.
These guys need to start like playing games and showing, because I don't know if they're going to be good enough to play for Hearts in the long term. So they need to get game time as much as possible and start trying to put themselves into the manager's mind, because they're the sellable assets, aren't they? They're the ones, you could take a punt on one of them and it turns into the next Aaron Hickey. Hopefully Jim Jeffries and Craig Levine don't do the transfer fee and we actually make some money for it. But
wait till you hear about James Wilson's release clause.
Yeah. Craig Levine sorted that with Jim Jeffries again. It'll be 15 grand or something like that. Cool. Right. Any other headlines? Hearts related?
Nah, I'm sure we'll talk about the draw after we go over the game.
Yeah, the Brechin stuff. Yep. We'll might as well talk about them. Friday night, Brechin. Hearts 4, Brechin 1. Made our way into the last 16? Is that what it is?
I
32?
think so. Aye, yeah, that'll be right.
Scottish Cup. Thoughts in the first half? It was turgid, probably.
Aye,
first half.
That's talking it up. I think it's probably best forgotten. I think it was an absolute shit show. It's almost as if they forgot to play football, and you're looking at it going, scratching the head, going, this will come good eventually, and fair enough, obviously it did, but it's ultimately frustrating to see a team start like that and for it to take 45 minutes. I mean, like, I know the pitches are a shit condition and the lighting's no very good, and yeah, it's a pain in the arse to get to all that sort of stuff, right? But that's just noise.
You sound like my bird want to take a selfie at a night out. Oh, the lighting's not any good.
Aye, but this is the thing. It's like stupid things like that I think just it's all just noise. I still think that 45 minutes you should be going out for minute one, muscle flexing, absolutely dominating a Tim Pot stupid outfit like that, and burying them in the first 10 or 15 minutes of the game. That's it. Job done. Foot off the
I
gas.
think, Tam,
we make things hard for ourselves.
I get that. I'm in that camp at points as well. I get it, especially when you add in that, as it stands right now, the Scottish Cup is probably our only real route for European football. If we want group stage football, it's not out of the question. Unbelievably, we're 13 points behind third, which is crazy given how utterly trouser we've been all season. But you would expect them to be out there. And I think, Tam, the thing that worries me is that I always go back to the Nicosia game. Opening 45 minutes at Tynecastle.
Yep.
Forget about anything and the style of play. You were not going to get the ball down and play football for long periods of time on that park. Although Brechin did show that actually when you just stop launching it forward and panicking and kicking it up the park, you could. They cut us open and hit side netting from a pass and then scored a worldie from forcing corners because they were getting to the byline. They were getting down the sides. But you could still have tempo and aggression. You can still, like Ando says, you can still flex a bit. You can still go show that you're a full-time football team. The way aspirations of being one of the best teams in the league. And I thought that was the disappointing aspect of the opening salvo, was that we just seemed a yard off it in terms of what we were playing for. It was on the telly. It's an opportunity to show everybody, we're on the right tracks, we're back. And it was just a bit meh, wasn't it?
That's exactly it. It was like they were playing with an expectation that it would just come. Like, obviously, the second half we've seen somewhat of a change in attitude, but it just seemed like they were like, we're going to win this without having to put much in. And the basics kind of dropped off from that, and the effort levels, and it was a tough watch. And I think the most exciting bit was, because it was at Brechin, was the microphones at the side of the pitch picking up every single thing, because it felt exactly how we were watching it at home as well.
Yeah. I think it was almost like our game plan, maybe in the warm up, or maybe we'd practiced or thought of that all week, was that we would use Elton to get out and get us up the park, circumnavigate the pitch by taking it out completely. But then obviously the conditions, as we've seen in the second half, when we started to get the ball down, towards the end of the first half too, if we're going to give them credit, when we started to get the ball down, started to move it, started to pass it, we brushed them aside pretty easily. So it was that almost like we were taken aback by, actually it's not as bad as what we thought it was going to be. But yeah, the opening 10, 15 minutes, they weren't for me, they weren't good enough. But like I said, the manager acknowledged it, the players acknowledged it as well. There was no daft celebrating, there was no nothing. It was job done. Because again, Alex Ferguson, if you've well watched the documentaries over Thingway, you talk about that siege mentality. That gets the best out of teams all the time. I'd been sitting before the game being like, mate, they even score a goal, you just get beat here. This is national press. You're on the national telly the night. Like, make sure like it's us against them. Make sure you didn't give them anything to do. And even there, we swept them aside 4-1. It could have been more. And yeah, every headline, every bit was Hearts survive scare. You click on it to be like, oh, Hearts survive scare was at 90th minute winner. That was 4-1. They absolutely battered them. But because we got a goal down 30 minutes into the game, it gives everybody that ammunition of the romance of the cup, and a big team almost got battered type of
Can I
thing.
just clarify something? You were absolutely pissing your pants with fear after they
No,
scored. So
I was
it was a
furious.
scare.
I told you. I was furious. And if Neil Critchley had came out after the game and had tried to dance around it, or had tried to make excuses, or had tried to talk about that we'd played well or any of that stuff, I would have continued to have been furious about it, because we all watched it. We all watched it. We all watched the first half. It wasn't where it needed to be. It wasn't acceptable, but we got the job done, and that's exactly what he said after the game. So I was like, well, fair play, sound. Panic. Let's stop it. Let's calm down.
Who are you?
But to be fair, we have to talk about the goal, the Brechin goal, because it was an absolute belter. The wee guy will never score a better goal in his life.
No chance.
Can I just clarify something before we talk about that? He should never have been on the park, because the boy that went off injured. Fucking hell.
Actually, it's a very, very good point, because that was a horror challenge. I think you could tell by the reaction of the player, the fact that he stayed down, he knew he'd fucked it. And then obviously the television replays or whatever show that we're very, very lucky that he managed to get out of the way. Because if he had a planted leg or it made contact proper, you're looking at a leg breaker for that. So you are right. You absolutely shouldn't have even been on the park. But taking it away from what a strike. What a strike that is. He's on loan from Kilmarnock or something, is that what it said? St Johnstone. Brilliant strike. There's nothing you can really do about that. So, and then to be fair, the Ando strike was pretty decent too.
Mm-hmm.
A decent finish. So first half turgid, a bit meh, but second half was much better when we started to get the ball down, started to play with some tempo. Let's not rule out the fact that we're playing Brechin, but still you have to do the job that we didn't do in the first half. We absolutely done it in the second half. We played some nice stuff. Penrice and Spittle, I don't understand. I don't know why the manager done it with Petro Club. I don't know why he's made that mistake again. They start every week. Doesn't matter who we're playing. They have to start every single week, because the team, we just don't seem to be connected when they're not on that wing.
Yeah. Spot on. It seems to be the game plan when they're playing is go down that wing. We just spoke about the difference between that right wing and the left wing, and that is purely because of Spittle and Penrice and their partnership, essentially.
Is anybody else cringing at Vargas trying to steal that goal or claim that goal?
It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever heard. I've ever seen, man.
He was proper adamant that he'd scored. I was like, mate, you're playing against Brechin, man.
I like the attitude in a sense that, like, oh, I want to get a goal, but just let it happen, man. And then to start claiming it as well, and it's about 2 meters over the line.
As soon as it hit the net, he was like, it's mine. I was like, mate, it's not like you've just raked it top bins or whatever. It's
took a deflection or something.
A yard out, mate, against a part-time team. Like, what are we doing here?
Docking his wages for shithousery. That's what I'd be doing.
But like I said, didn't.
The pass for that goal, though, the pass was brilliant for Kapangu, to be fair. That's one of those passes that puts it right in that area.
Well, it was good that what I liked the most about that is at one point he was facing Gordon, and the easy pass would have been Halkett or McCart or something like what we play 9 times out of 10, and he actually swiveled and turned and fired the ball into the box, and we get a goal from it. Jumping in, it's that bit there, and the manager talks about that to be fair to him, in games about pointless passing. Like, you've got to pass with purpose, you pass with direction, you pass where you want the team to go. And it was good to see him be a bit brave, take a turn, put it in, and put it in a brilliant area as well. In between penalty box and 6 yard box. Keepers hate that sort of stuff, and we talk about this all the time. You don't shoot, you don't score, you then get deflections, and get corners, you can get handballs, anything. Like, if you don't do it, you don't get nothing. So it's all. I'd always prefer. I know we've moaned about it a couple of times in the group chat, and I get it. The 40, 50 crosses into the box per game. One of them, all we need is one of them to land where it needs to land and get a goal from it. Like, until we can get quality, still the team can be coherent and we can get time to build on what the manager wants, it's fine. It's like buying a lottery ticket in it. You might have to buy 1,000 of them before you win anything, but it's that one opportunity is all you need to win a football game. So it was a good ball. I actually like is it the fourth goal? What's the one that James Wilson passes on?
I was going to say, it's actually when you're talking about the sort of pass and that James Wilson's to skip ahead to that fourth goal. That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's like, you can see I know this sounds stupid, but you can see like Shankland or Boyce and their influence rubbing off on Wilson, because that's a really smart pass. A young boy, 17, we're winning, right? We're 3-1 up. We're probably going to go on and win the match. You're on TV, you're getting a bit of fame. He's been on Sky, he's been doing interviews and all that stuff. You probably think, drive on and just shoot here, see what happens. But he had he played the percentage pass, he played the right option, and we get the goal from it. And that's the type of stuff that, Shankland's link-up play goes unnoticed, is brilliant. Boyce's link-up play was why we liked Liam Boyce, because he didn't score any goals. So it was that I really liked that goal, from the sense that it was going in anyway as well. Like, you've not deflected off the defender. It was going into that corner where it was. So it had the outcome in the goal, which was a good goal to see. It
was good for Elton to come out after the game and just say, like, well done to Wilson for passing to me. I liked it how he was like, I was always going to score if he'd passed, but he could have went to sell. But I like that confidence, but also to just be like, that was the right choice type thing.
Aye. So I'll be interested. I'm looking forward to see what we do on Saturday, because he's got options now. He's got answers. Obviously, Shankland is somewhere in the background, not unfit, or whatever is happening in the background there. Obviously, he's not played, so he doesn't get cup tied, which is fair enough. He did the same last year when we played Spartans. Made sure he wasn't cup tied so that his options are open in the transfer window.
I forgot about that.
Aye. He did.
Tagawa played against Spartans.
Yeah, he did the same for Spartans. He was injured, and then he was injured versus Brechin. He was injured. He did have an injury, but he's back. I'll be surprised if he doesn't play some form of minutes on Saturday. But job done. Thought Cammy Devon played well in the middle of the park. Unlucky not to score when one cleared off the line. Actually, people are still annoyed with him because he missed the penalty, but George Grant played well as well. He's just never going to score for Hearts ever again.
Yep.
I think that's been established, that he had like 3 or 4 efforts that he just can't score.
You were calling it every single time, like, that's Grant missed another one, and then, as you say, Cabango just goes, nah, just keep it.
I'm having it.
I'll score for Hearts before George Grant does.
Again, exactly. Right. Anything else in the game catch your eye?
I suppose again, just McCart looked pretty strong, sensible,
solid.
If he could stop trying to batter the ball up as you say, punt it up the park, I'd quite like that. But apparently this new centre half coming in is more technically minded on the ball as well as physically.
But to be fair, that was I don't mind punts up the park when they are for a reason. There were times where we were pure panicking, especially in the first half, and just volleying balls out as if we were inundated by PSG in the last minute of the Champions League or whatever it was. Like, we're playing Brechin. Like, calm down. You're just launching the ball forward. But McCarthy and Halkett trying to switch and do diags to try and get, a Vargas in behind or a Danda in behind. If we can have that in the Arsenal, they're good outballs. That's a good way to get your team up the park type thing, rather than just aimless punts into centre halves who'll smash headers all day. That's what they want. So I don't mind it as long as it's not just aimless. But yeah, I agree. I like the look of McCarthy, like I said before. Ball playing centre halves is a fad. Hopefully it's something that dies out soon and we go back to absolute shit horses that just smash folk and win the ball and kick it out for a throw in, kick it the way they're standing and that's it type thing, because that's how I like football players like that. That's what I want my centre halves to do.
Agree.
Right. So next round we're away to St Mirren, Paisley. It's in February at some point, isn't it?
It's quite early doors, isn't it? It's second week.
It's 6 or 7 for something, isn't it?
Something like that.
Was it?
Aye, be the weekend closest to the 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th, whatever. Something like that. So.
Something like I'm pretty sure. It'll probably be one that's picked for telly, BBC or something. I'll probably pick.
Yeah, Friday night again or something.
Am I right in saying it's the only all Premiership tie?
Aye.
Aye, it's good
You're
to
right
be
to
on
point out
TV.
that both Celtic and Rangers got the lowest ranked teams in
At
the
home.
competition at home again.
Mm-hmm.
Rangers again had just played Fraserburgh at home and now playing Queen's Park at home.
Hot balls.
Giza Breck, man. At least try and make it. At least try and mix it up a bit and pretend that it's not to try and get them money and keep them afloat. But there you go. That's fine. There's your tinfoil hat moment for for this podcast.
All right, I'm thinking that's when was the last home tie we had? Celtic, was that?
Celtic in the Scottish Cup, Partick Thistle in the League Cup.
Right.
So
that was 2 years ago at least anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, we're always away from them. Always, whilst they are always at home in the cup competitions, Rangers. There is an account, I don't know if it's Swiss Ramble, because I know that they just focus on the accounts and the books and that, but somebody did a stats thing on, since Rangers went into financial difficulty, how many home extra revenue cup games they get.
Really? Since
then. Where they're getting an extra 50,000 tickets on games that aren't accounted for in the books. It's outrageous. It's crazy. But anyway, that's for a different podcast. We'll maybe see what Kerrydale Street are doing if they want a zone or whatever it is. Cool. Well, winnable game.
You'd like to think so. I think when seasons gone by, it's been kind of hit or miss, isn't it? But I'd fancy us. We'll have turned the corner by then.
This is the last season where winning the Scottish Cup or finishing third gets you group stage European football. So this is, if we're not going to turn it on in the league, there's 10 games left in the league.
Something like that.
As much as it's a big ask. It's a big ask for us to pick up 13 points, but for Dundee United and Aberdeen to lose enough games for us to make up 13 points. Because again, you then go into the top 6. If we get there, we're horrendous in the top 6.
Am I not right in saying that when we lost third to Aberdeen, it was something like 13 points with this amount of games to go or something?
Yeah, but they went 7 games in a row winning, including beating teams in the Old Firm.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but let's get Kilmarnock out the way first.
I'll say it. Right, I'll just say it. It's impossible. There you go. Done.
So get Kilmarnock out the way first, because my worry is that we're in the best form that we've been of the season, which is 4 unbeaten in the league, 2 wins, 2 draws, and haven't moved a single space. That's the big worry. That's the big worry. Is that whole bit from second bottom to third is pretty much congested. Everybody's got the opportunity to leapfrog each other, but you would have thought that a few wins catapults you up the league. We're still in the danger zone. So Kilmarnock Saturday, it's must win. We've got to go over there. But if we can't do it in the league, the Scottish Cup is the best route and the only viable route for European football. So hopefully it'll be a good game. we'll sell out our allocation. It'll hopefully be pretty decent atmosphere. So winnable. Just get yourself in the hat for the next round, Hearts. That's all we ask.
Loaded question. Will you be there?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
My isolation from Hearts is continuing for the foreseeable. But anyway, we'll leave that. We'll not mix in our demonstration, protests, anger at the club stuff until we've got the next stage of it sorted.
I just say I'm glad because we might actually win.
I know. Well, that's the thing is I've seen us win one game this season, and it was Nicosia in the European Cup. Or in the Conference League. It's the only game I've seen us win this year, so I'm not coming back.
And where you haven't been there and I have, then we've won.
Exactly. So we've got to keep that tradition.
I'm not going on Saturday though.
No.
Fuck it.
We'll wait and see what happens. We'll wait and see what happens. Right. Kilmarnock then. What's your thoughts?
Well, I see Kilmarnock keeper. He's out for a month with a facial injury, and somebody's clattered him. So, I don't know. Like Kilmarnock seem to have a player sent off every other game, so I'm surprised they've even got a squad to pick for that's even available for this. But I don't know. The best indicator of future performance is past performance, isn't it? And did you not say that out of the last 20 odd matches, Kilmarnock have won 14 of them or something?
It's like 25 games at Tynecastle or something.
Fucking hell.
Madness.
That is mental. So, like, if you want to consider them a bogey team, maybe I don't know. I'd say at this stage, probably a draw. But I don't know. Difficult one to call. It's a coin flip game for me. Could go either way.
Well, it'll be if they beat us on Saturday, they'll beat us all 3 games they've played us this season, which is just bananas.
Embarrassing.
Considering where they are in the league. Derek McInnes, Critchley at Tynecastle the last time, and then obviously done the same at Rugby Park. What you looking to see hopefully be different on Saturday?
It's hard to say. Like, obviously, I think the boy Vassell's out as well, so that takes one of their sort of lumps that ragdoll Kydrolls about one of the games.
Does Van Veen play for them still?
No, he's battered his missus and
left.
Got chucked. Aye.
Allegedly.
Must have signed for St Mirren.
Yeah,
sure.
allegedly.
Must have been St Mirren, because that's all their players have been doing allegedly.
So who will they have? The boy Watkins and Bruce Anderson probably, but he's not exactly.
Brilliant. Both jobbers that scored against us all the time.
All the time. Exactly.
Watkins no scored an absolute worldie.
Aye.
Last season or something.
Yeah.
Won one game or something, didn't it? We just went like 1-0 up or something, and he banged one in the top bag.
Anderson's definitely scoring and all, 100%.
Yeah.
So what do I want to see? For God's sake, I can't be positive now. I don't even know what I want to see. just try and play our own game. I don't get dragged into it, because if we try to get in like an actual battle with them, we're probably going to fail. So I think we need to really use Tynecastle as a home advantage and actually play our own game and not get dragged into it.
Well, the last Motherwell we played at home, it was 1-0. It should have been more. Obviously, we need 2 worldly saves at the end by Craig Gordon, but by that point we should have had the game to bed, because we played very well. Then obviously we've played very, very well again. The best performance of the season for me away at Dundee United. Controlled, measured, always in control, never really threatened by Dundee United, who were the form team in the league at that time. For me, I'm looking like we've said before, not for a statement performance. We need results. I'm at a point now where the performance is a wish list thing. All I want now is just points. I just want 3 points in the book. I don't care if it's as ugly a win as it looks on paper v Motherwell, which is a bundled in deflection type thing that gets us a goal. I don't care. We're at a point now where we need the points, but we're getting time on the training pitch now. Actually, he's getting sessions, so we need to start seeing stuff that he's been working on. So you can see it in the park. You can start to see some of it, but I'm looking for patterns of play, link up play, ideas with what we do with corners and free kicks and set plays and all that sort of stuff. So we first and foremost got to win on Saturday. That's the most important thing. If we can get a bit of performance out of it, I think it catapults you in confidence as to where you want to go. 6 undefeated. You're rolling into a winnable away game next. An opportunity to put a wrong right a wrong from the earlier part of the season. So yeah, I just, like I said, 3 points is a must. But if we can get a wee bit of an insight as to what they're working on Monday to Friday on the training ground now that they've got time, that would also be a positive result for me. Right, let's do predictions then. What are you saying, Tom?
Question first. Do you think new centre half will come in? Will it be McCart and him, or Halkett still play?
It'll be Halkett.
Cool.
Well, there's another thing to add. Did you say that's trying to annoy me? Time up, because they were off Saturday, Sunday, and they're not training again until Thursday, so they were off at the game yesterday. They're off today. They're back in Thursday, Friday. So
new boy gets 2 sessions, class.
Yeah, 2 sessions, 3 sessions for the whole team.
But
3 sessions in a bounce game, but barely any of the first teamers played in it. If you want to wind me up completely, but
okay, but
I'm trying to stay positive.
But let's circle back to this and see what's what on Sunday.
Aye. Then you can get blood and tears and snorters and absolute petrol bomb the place.
Because if we get scudded, then I'm with you. If however we go out and roast them 4 or 5-0, then shut up, Corbett. Everything's fine.
Give them all the time off. Give them anything they want.
One training a week and send them a PowerPoint with the tactics to their email. That'll do.
Let's do that. Right, Tam. Prediction for Saturday.
I think it'll be a bit of a battle, and I think we'll go 1-0 up, but I think it'll be 1-1.
Okay. Ando.
Oh, fuck it. 2-1. We'll edge it. Just.
I think it'll be tight. I think I'm going to go 1-0 Hearts. There you go. That's going to be the Desmonds didn't work. Saying Hearts are going to lose doesn't work. So I'll say 1-0 to Hearts. Very tight. Spittle with the goal. There you go. I'll even predict that.
Dan will start.
Potentially, just to annoy me. Right, troops. We'll see you all on Sunday. Hopefully, Hearts are 7th. Woohoo! Hopefully, we've got 3 points in the bag, and Hearts are sitting 7th in the Premier League. The heady heights of 7th. Right,
Ross County will beat Hibs, and
I already know what's happening. What happened? We're going to get to like the last 2 games before the split, and it'll be like 3 points separating second, bottom, and third. It'll be like absolute carnage on the last day, and folk just try to listen to different games. Who's staying? Where are we? We'll finish bottom 6 on goal difference or something like that.
Football Hunger Games.
Aye, exactly. Right, trips. It was good to see you. I'll see you all soon.
Will do. See you later.
Gorgaroos.